let's transition into game news. Give me 1 second while we transition. Okay. First thing I got on here, PlayStation Plus package. They've packaged together some of the previous offerings with PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, things like that are getting packaged together. So there are various options now available to you when you purchase PlayStation Plus. There are 3 tiers. Where are the tiers? I'm trying to find the tiers here. Okay, so here's Plus Essential, which is $10 a month for US folks, $60 a year. We have PlayStation Plus Extra, which is $15 a month, $100 a year. And we have PlayStation Plus Premium, which is going to be $120 a year. All these tiers have various benefits to them. PlayStation Plus Essential, which is just provides benefits PlayStation Plus members are getting today. So you'll get some exclusive discounts, monthly downloadable games. And it's whatever PlayStation Plus is right now is what you're getting. Extra,
I think the price is the same on that too. Like that's no change from the current PlayStation Plus.
Correct.
It's just $60 a year for the games with PlayStation Plus free games, your online play, your cloud saves, just everything that PlayStation Plus is right now.
Yep. Okay. PlayStation Plus Extra adds 400 a catalog up to 400 games from PS4 and PS5 gen. So yeah, that's I don't know, there's nothing else to add. They just added, like, it's PlayStation Now gets added in there in that one. And that one's an extra $5 from the previous tier. The final tier provides all the benefits of the previous, adds 340 additional games, PS3 games available via cloud streaming, and a catalog of classic games from PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations. Cloud streaming services are offered here, and game trials. So you can get some game trials are available here, much like EA Play did. EA Play had like game trials up to 10 hours. So this is very similar. EA Play, this is a very similar idea. For an additional $3, you get this compared to the previous tier. Yeah, those are the tiers. This is the package that we're getting now, and that's going to be coming in June. That is a June release window on this.
Yep.
Okay. That I don't think there's really any other information. The only major detail is no matter what the tier, PlayStation's first-party titles are not going to be available day one, like Game Pass does. Any Microsoft, Xbox first-party titles that they own, they come out day one, Game Pass. Sony's not doing that. I don't have the exact quote, but Sony basically said, we're risking losing money doing that by comparison to doing our previous model. That's the general idea, is they're not willing to make the risky bet to hope that over time it will make them more money. They've basically just said, in order to keep with the quality that they already have, they're going to stick with their previous model on the first party titles.
Yeah.
That's the general idea.
They're worried about losing money and, being able to pour all the resources in that they do to their first party titles, and that they put it in a way that they think it would affect the quality of the game, but let's be real here.
It wouldn't.
They're worried about losing money. So
they can't take the risk. They're not willing to take the risk of losing money in this case. Or just losing more, not getting as much money, right? I don't think they'd obviously lose money, but they wouldn't make as much. Somebody ran the numbers and it's we were not going to be making as much.
Yep.
Okay. Can I give my thoughts first? I have some quick fire thoughts. I'll give 3 bullet points of my major feelings. Feeling number 1, I think this is ultimately a good thing. I'm really glad that they aren't fragmenting these various services out anymore, and it's just one service that has tiers. So I think that's great. Thing number 2, I'm not particularly shocked that the first party titles are still going to be not available in this service. I'm not shocked at all.
I mean, they might come eventually, like a few years down the line, they'll slap them on there, but like not on release. For sure.
I'm not surprised because Sony makes a lot of money on their first party exclusive titles, and
it's pretty much the main reason people buy PlayStation these days, because of Sony's first party titles.
Correct, and Sony hasn't unlocked the infinite money tier that Microsoft has. Microsoft's unlocked infinite money. Sony has not unlocked infinite money. So they can't just access this glitch to just be like, yeah, we don't care, we can lose money, it's fine. That's my point number 2. Point number 3, I'm a little bit confused why extra and premium are 2 different tiers. Why is there another tier for $3 extra? The thing I'm looking at, I don't care about the cloud streaming access like things. The library of PS3, PlayStation, PS2, and PSP games, PS3 games available via cloud streaming. Why is that $3 extra? $3 extra to me is like a very marginal amount for that. Why not just increase extra $1 and just put it all in there anyway? That's my third thought. My third thought is I don't understand why they don't just lump the previous.
What's the premium price yearly? It's $120, right?
The premium price is $120 yearly by comparison to the $100 yearly. I was looking specifically at monthly. I was just saying, like, why not just make an extra $1 or something and just lump it together? Why does it matter?
Obviously, not everyone, can afford to pay the yearly prices on these, but like, you're getting gypped if you pay the monthly. Like, you actually get a discount with the yearly price.
Well, of course you do. That's usually how they get you to lock in the yearly stuff.
But like, Game Pass doesn't do that. It's just $15 a month. They don't have like a discount for a yearly or
that's true.
6
that's
month
true.
or whatever. So
I was just going on a general sense. Like, generally, most services do that so that it's like, okay, well, if you lock in for the year, you should get like a 10% discount. No, of course it's a ripoff. Like, you can do the math and it's a ripoff.
Way more than a 10% discount, actually. No. Like, if you look at the like that for extra, that would be $175 a year on the monthly tier, and it's $100. You're getting like
50% almost.
It's like 40% or so discount. And similar on the premium would be like over $200 for the year. And it's $120.
Well, they're incentivizing you to lock into the yearly heavy. More heavily than anything I've ever seen, actually.
So
I didn't even think about that.
If you go with the yearly plans on this is actually cheaper than Game Pass, because Game Pass is $15 a month, or I guess it's $180 for a year.
You're right. If you do Game Pass like Ultimate, right? Like Game Pass Ultimate.
For Ultimate, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that is a good point. That's a good point. But I'm still confused. I don't understand why extra and premium needed to be separate tiers.
I mean, I think they're just trying to lean into the nostalgia, old school crowd who want to play, PS1, PS2, PS3, and I guess PSP as well.
Right.
They'll get a little extra out of them as opposed to the extra, which is just PS4 and PS5. Also, I saw some memes about like, basically Sony's still like, nobody can figure out how to emulate PS3 because I guess PS3 was just crap. And they still can't figure out how to emulate PS3, so they just have to do cloud streaming. So
that one I did see people were making fun of PlayStation for that, which I'm a little bit confused also why they don't have just like downloadable options. The other ones have downloadable options, but this one you have to do cloud streaming. It's a little bit awkward.
It seems like everything else except PS3 is like you can just download the games and play.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ultimately I think it's great. I think it's great to just like not have these fragmented services. I'm like, my opinion is I think they're nickel and diming for those like old gen catalog, for that old gen. I think they're nickel and diming it. I think there's no reason to have like what I would consider a moderate increase in price by comparison to the total amount. Like $20 to some people is definitely not going to be a moderate increase. To me, like a $20 increase on this to me is just like it was already $100. Why don't we just bridge the gap, make it 110, and just add it all in there anyway? Well, why 120? That's my only confusion on this, like on these tiers. I just don't understand why we need a last tier just for the backlog of older gen games. It's a little bit confusing to me. But beyond that, I think it's great. I think it's cool. Spoon?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think there were rumors of Sony having an answer to Game Pass, I don't remember, some number of months ago,
right.
Sometime over the fall maybe.
Yep.
Last year. And yeah, here it is. It's not surprising that they're doing something like this. Pretty sizable catalog,
Yep.
So, we'll see what's actually in that catalog, what kind of things they can get from both like Sony stuff and then what kind of things from old school and like the third party stuff, especially in the old school, they can get in there.
Yeah. There are certain things that may or may not be in there, but ultimately it's going to have a good, I think it's going to have a good library. I think the library is going to be good of titles in the PS4, PS5 one I'm focusing on. The other one, I mean, it's going to have a good library too. Like there's definitely plenty of games in that PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP era that were great. In definitely like some of them do hold up well. So
yeah,
I think it's good.
Yeah, for me it's just nice to have. Obviously, you're not going to get every game that's ever existed on these things, but you assume they're going to get a lot of the classics and the well-loved games on here, or at least do their best to. It's nice to just have them all in one place. Like if you have a PS5 and you have this service, you can just have all your PlayStation games in one place. Basically, it's like you don't have to have multiple consoles hooked up. You don't have to swap them around, And a lot of these games, they haven't ported them to PC. They're still like PlayStation console exclusives. And
right.
Yeah, you just have your one PS5, for example, and you can have access to all this stuff if you pay for this service. So yeah, I agree. I think ultimately it's a good thing. I guess I see where you're coming from on the extra and premium tiers. Like, okay, I'm not sure we really need a $20 increase just for retro games, but they're pulling at people's nostalgia heartstrings with that one. Like, yeah, we think people will pay the little extra to play the super old school games.
Yeah, of course.
More old school games than the PS4. PS4, PS5 would be like the last decade or so, a little less than that. But yeah, I think this is good. And we'll just see what the actual catalog looks like when we get closer, and obviously when this comes out eventually in June.
I think the catalog is going to be really strong. Obviously, it's not going to have the first party like day one stuff, but like whatever's on PlayStation Now is going to be in there. So if PlayStation Now has a good catalog, it's just going to be a good catalog. That's what it's going to come down to. For this particular, I don't want to say it's necessarily all new, like they're saying, but it's a new PlayStation Plus package. Like there's still some stuff that is old from the previous PlayStation Plus, right? They just simply put it all together and mishmash it into one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like PlayStation Now was one of those things that just, I don't know, they just didn't like advertise it well. I just feel like a lot of people like either don't know about it or don't use it, or they just don't want to pay for the extra. I don't even know how much it is, but like I feel like it's just a good idea to just like, hey, here's our subscription package, and there's like 3 tiers, and it just makes it simpler, just easier for people to understand. It's like, hey, I got PlayStation Plus, but I can upgrade for the to get the extra games and stuff.
Exactly.
Like that. So I think this is more streamlined. I think it makes sense, and yeah, again, I've looked at PlayStation Now before, but I've never like actually subscribed to it,
Mhm.
obviously. But it's yeah. So I just think it's good for them to put it together,
Yeah.
as opposed to have them as two separate services.
I agree. I agree. Um, any other stuff with PlayStation Plus's all new, super awesome, shiny, much better than Nintendo Online package?
Nope, I think we're good on this.
Okay.
It's definitely much better than Nintendo.
Nintendo has old game emulation. It's just the library of those is really poor.
The library is really limited, and they do a really shitty job emulating their old
Yeah,
games.
it's like
so.
every time I see stuff like this, I'm more embarrassed for Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo's embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for them though. Okay. Next thing I has is Nintendo is so sorry. They're very sorry that Breath of the Wild is being delayed. They're so sorry that it's been delayed. Super sorry. Spoon,
Yep.
it's been delayed. I didn't see if there was any baby rage around this, but you bet your ass that one quote, a delayed game is better than a rushed one, whatever the exact quote is. I just don't care anymore. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm so tired of seeing that quote every time somebody says we're delaying a game. It's like, oh no, hold on. We have this one quote to make it all better. Like, what? Okay, sure. But don't worry, there it is. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. There we go. Beautiful. We gotta have that quote here.
Yep.
But it's just game's delayed. I didn't get anything else from this, just that game's delayed. It's not ready. We're delaying it.
Yep.
My little joke was specifically, well, they really, really wanted Game of the Year. And I think Elden Ring really locked that down. So they said, shit. Do you think actually there was a meeting, an all-hands meeting for Breath of the Wild amongst like the marketing and executive team? Do you think they actually had a meeting and said, and one person said, I think we should, I don't think we're going to get that Game of the Year consideration if we release this game right now. Do you think
we're not
gonna
we're not gonna sweep the Game Awards like we did in 2017 since Elden Ring came out this year?
Do you think one guy said that, like an intern or something said that? Like, we're not gonna sweep Game of the Year though. Do you think that happened? I don't think it did, but some part of me wishes it happened, that somebody said I think we need to. I don't think it's ready. Game of the Year ready.
It's possible that it was mentioned. Probably not, but
probably not. No.
I mean, yeah, Zelda games take a long time. They always take a long. It's been over 5 years, or it's been about 5 years since Breath of the Wild came out.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I actually didn't see much baby rage on this either. The most of the reactions I saw to this were like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Cool, take your time. We want it to be amazing. Go ahead.
Yep.
So, yep, we will. Yeah, I'm not very surprised by this. It just seemed like we haven't seen anything from this game in a while, and it just didn't seem like it was, gonna be ready this year. But
yeah, I'm not particularly surprised. I think they did like all the teasers. I think the teasers and the announcements they had done, some of the initial ones might have been too early, but I think when they actually did that little reveal, probably was like a good timing for that, just to say, hey, we're working on this and we've got some stuff to show, even if it's only a little bit of like a teaser. This one, yeah, but we haven't seen any gameplay, really, and the game was supposed to come out this year, and we haven't seen gameplay? Yeah, I don't think so. We likely should have seen some kind of gameplay if it was coming out this year.
Yeah, I would have thought if it was going to come out this year, I mean, we'll still probably get this, but we're going to save it for, well, E3 isn't going to happen.
E3's not happening.
But I assume Nintendo and other companies will still have their own digital events like
Yep.
over the summer or like
Yeah.
around that time, even though it's not an official like E3 event. But
Yeah.
But I would have thought that, well, whether it was going to come out this year or it's going to come out next year, I think we'll still see it over the summer for
Oh, definitely. We'll see
E3
something.
or pseudo E3 or whatever you want to call
It'll
it.
be Nintendo Direct, like
yeah, Nintendo
whatever.
summer Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, something like that. Everybody's gonna do their own thing. Yeah, it's delayed. I think everybody's cool with that. I don't think there's anybody that's gonna be upset by that. And as soon as I heard about this, I knew that fucking quote was gonna get posted. I'm tired of that quote. I'm a little tired of it. We don't need to invoke that quote every time. We really don't. But it's an easy thing to plop in there. Any other stuff about being sorry that Breath of the Wild is delayed?
I don't know. I just hope I hope they change some things about it that make me like it better than I liked the first one. Like, because we've talked about it, and I just have so many issues with the first game. Like,
here's my suspicion. I think they'll change the dungeons.
Yeah.
I think they'll change the dungeons.
That would be a big one for me if they make the dungeons better.
I think the dungeons will change. I don't suspect much of anything else will ultimately change beyond improvements. Maybe some new game mechanics. I would be shocked if things change drastically in any way, shape, or form beyond what was already there. We're going to get shrines again, I'm sure, or something like it. Maybe, I would imagine. I think dungeons will change, though. I'm hoping they change. I think dungeons will change. I think the bosses should change too. The bosses should change too, because the story will be different, I would think. So bosses should change. We shouldn't get those like cookie cutter boss fights in this one.
Yeah.
So those are my two hopes. I think are my two main things.
I know they won't remove it completely because it was an integral part of the first game, but I hope they at least like balance and fine tune the weapon durability thing, because I just found like that was the most obnoxious thing.
It was annoying. I think they should just get rid of it and just.
I mean, I think they should get rid of it too, but they won't. Or at least, as I suggested at one point, give you a weapon that doesn't, like, you at least have a weapon at all times that doesn't break. It would be weaker than the breakable weapons.
Yeah.
But
I just
at least
maybe durability. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they broke too fast. That was one thing, obviously, but I don't know. I just didn't like the mechanic. I think there was arguments for the mechanic that I think I understood. It's like, oh, they want you to be able to like, kind of like, they don't just want you to use the same weapons over and over again. But that's what stats are for. That's what stats do. You get one weapon, you use it for a bit, you find a better weapon, you use that for a bit. You find a better weapon, you use that for a bit. You don't just use the same weapon all the time in certain games like this. Like, I mean, there were stats in the previous game, but I just did not like the weapon breaking thing. It caused more frustration than awe. It was not a cool mechanic, and I don't think I liked that. And I think there was an argument for it with the idea of like, okay, they don't want you to just like, they want you to like, the idea is you swap around weapons. You can't just use the same one over and over again. Like, okay, fine. Like, that's the reason why you'd want to collect a bunch of weapons, is so you have like a backlog of weapons. I get it. But at the same time, it's frustrating. And I don't want to be frustrated playing a game. That's my only complaint.
A number of mechanics in that game that were very frustrating to me that I just didn't. I'm just like, why? This isn't fun. Like, this, like, I get it. Maybe it makes sense in some way, but it's annoying. It's a bad game mechanic.
It's frustrating. But I think some of the other stuff, like, my only other complaints were the boss fights of the dungeon. The final boss also. I liked how the ending dungeon you could just skip with Rivali's Gale. That was cool.
You can skip a lot of things with Rivali's
Gale. I guess.
Gale.
It's like, okay, like that thing, tone down the abilities a bit. Don't make
Rivali's Gale was the best power by a long shot.
I'm not sure it was like a cool thing that you could just literally scale, so to speak, scale the tower to the top with one ability without ever having to be challenged. It's like, okay, like it's like a nice, like, oh, but I got the item, so I should be able to skip it kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I got it though. Like, okay, but this is the final dungeon. Yeah. Could you imagine playing Tales of Arise and going through the final dungeon, and because you picked up one particular ability that you did in a side quest, you could skip the whole thing?
I wish I could skip half the dungeon in Tales of Arise. That thing is way too long.
But it's the last dungeon. So, like, the idea is the last dungeon, you know, it should be like that grind to the finish.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be able to skip it because you went on a non-required quest to finish the game, and then you could skip it. That seems it's a little odd to me that was available, but it is what it is. I'm sure there will be some things different in Breath of the Wild 2. I'm sure the bosses will change. I'm sure the dungeons will change. I'm not so sure the weapon breaking is going to change at all. I don't know if there was enough of an outcry against the game, considering it was praised.
I just hope they at least adjust it, like
make
weapons last a little, just like at least some balance and some tweaking to it, because weapons just broke way too fast in the first game. And please, for the love of God, the other thing that really bothered me in the first game, when it rained, you weren't allowed to climb, and climbing was a really big part of the game.
Yeah, that one.
You just had to wait for it to stop raining. It's like, thanks.
Yeah, that one was more of a let's make it realistic thing, and you just are like, let's not make it realistic in this case.
So you just don't want me to play the game for 10 minutes.
They're just like,
stops raining.
Is there lightning? Are you wearing metal? Okay, you're gonna get immediately hit by lightning.
That was fucking stupid.
Which
that's not even realistic. That's not how it works.
I was like, that's not how it works. It's like we'd all be fucked if that was the case. Like, no, you're wearing some metal, so lightning's gonna strike you more often. It's like, how was that? Okay, somebody thought that was funny and clever, but they're an asshole. Yeah, like that kind of thing. Yeah, I would like that to change too. That was
we've talked about this before, but there were just a lot of little things in Breath of the Wild. Weapon durability, lightning. Well, lightning. First of all, lightning striking you when you're wearing metal armor, and then you just like drop all of your equipment when you're struck by lightning, which also literally makes no sense. You would do the opposite. Like your muscles, like when you get struck by lightning, your muscles tense up, they contract.
Right.
You wouldn't drop everything. You would actually hold on to everything.
But somebody thought they were clever. Somebody thought they were clever.
There's a lot of little annoying shit in the first game that made me frustrated that I hope that they change in the second game.
I didn't even think about that stuff, but now that you're mentioning it, the wearing metal so you get struck by lightning thing was really dumb when I thought about it more. I was like, yeah, that's really dumb, but okay. They'll change some things. I think they will. They will. So. Okay. Let's move on to Fortnite. For about 2 weeks had a zero build mode that was the normal game mode. Okay, it was in there for like 2 weeks. I don't actually know the exact timing, but it was there for 2 weeks. Everybody above the age of like 25 was super ecstatic by this. We were all excited. No longer would we need to hit our keyboards with any blunt instrument to be able to compete against that 13-year-old that watched a ton of YouTube videos on how to build. We were super excited. Everybody that relied on building as opposed to aim was probably pissed off. Mm-hmm. That is now a separate game mode called Zero Build Mode in Fortnite. You can play the normal Fortnite, where you get all the building, all that stuff, or you can play Zero Build now. Same battle royale, but you just can't build anything. I'm personally all for this. I think having it as a zipper mode is great. It actually is really fun for me to play the zero build mode. I'm quite entertained by it. I will say the one complaint I've always had about Fortnite is that I don't care enough to practice building to want to build. So when I have to go up against somebody that's practiced building all day, all night, it is really frustrating to get into a gunfight. And it's just literally who can build and edit the fastest and most aggressively. So having a...
Instead of shooting you, let me build a tower.
It's just like, I'm going to build all around you and above you so that you lose track of me. And then I'm going to come down and shoot you. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I'm sure there's a universe where I could learn that. I don't want to, but I can tell you it's like, man, like I would enjoy this game more if there wasn't that, so I could not focus on building and focusing on other things.
For those of us who are used to our old school shooters where all you can do is shoot.
You just shoot and really run around and maybe throw like a grenade or something.
The skill is in like your aim. Mostly,
yeah. It's just like who can aim and who can position.
Little bit of movement and positioning.
Yeah, there's some positioning, there's some movement, there's aim. It's like, yeah, there's a bit more precision. I mean, building was more about like how to build and who could edit correctly. Yeah, I won't talk about the specific like, okay, are the guns good or not? Not really. I mean, like, the guns aren't great here. I kind of like some of them, but I think the mode existing is great. The guns will swap over from, they'll keep swapping the guns like they always do, but the mode existing is great. So I actually I'm having a lot of fun recently playing it at night. I've been playing with Bree, and it's been really fun playing because I just don't have to build. It's so nice. So I'm super all for this. As somebody who just did not like Fortnite several years ago, this is a mode that like I would play in Fortnite and be happy playing.
Yeah.
For
if I played Fortnite, I would definitely play this mode.
Yeah, I play this mode.
The building mode.
Yeah. It's like it's enjoyable. It's still enjoyable. And like I know there are people that are like Fortnite's main differentiator is the building. It's like, okay, well, yeah, but having zero build still makes Fortnite like different than Apex Legends and different from Warzone. It still is different. It's different. It is
different style, different gameplay style, different art style, different there's so many skins in Fortnite. It's like with all the crossovers and stuff. So
yeah, there's lots of skins. What is it? So did it make you happy enough to swipe for another skin, Otto? What? I don't know. What do you mean by that? I don't know what he means by that, but I
swipe the credit card.
Oh, swipe the credit card. There we go. Okay, swipe the card. Got it. So, I did buy a $3 package recently. I did buy a $3 package. It was $3.
That's pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, and I think from the last week or so, up until a certain date, I don't remember, all the money's going to Ukraine relief. So honestly, I don't care. I do not care.
Oh yeah, I saw something that said that Fortnite had raised over like $100 million for Ukraine or something like that. I think I saw it yesterday.
Yeah. Epic's been doing this, and they. So it's a $3 skin. It's a bundle actually. There's a character skin in it, and there's some like other little items. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. $3, sure, why not? So I'm cool with it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the zero build mode. This is a mode like usually I've been playing with Try when he plays in Bree like every other week. I'd be cool playing a couple times a week now with this mode. My only complaint is the tanks, but I know those tanks won't last. My only complaint is tanks.
Like specific for this season.
Yeah, that'll go away eventually. I know that'll go away eventually. I don't think zero build is going to go away anytime soon. So, I know you don't play Fortnite, Spoon, but this mode is great.
Well, I played it like once with you guys, I think.
With building?
A while ago. Yeah, that was way before. That was a while ago. Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't play it right now because I'm playing some other stuff, but maybe I could be coerced into trying it out again since this exists now. Because yeah, I was definitely If I played it before in the building mode, I'm like you. I'm like, I'm not gonna learn how to do the building. Like, I just don't care. And if someone is gonna do that on me, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just don't care.
It's reasonable. It takes a while. It takes a while to learn that stuff. So, like that now that that's like not a learnable thing, you can just focus on other things, and it's great.
Yeah. I didn't say I was going to play. I said maybe I could be coerced into playing.
You say you could be coerced. There's going to be a Gundam in Fortnite soon. There's going to be a Gundam skin, so.
If there's a Gundam skin, then you can probably count me in.
There probably wouldn't be a skin for it. There'd probably be like a Gundam character. Yeah, and the thing that he flies in on is a Gundam. Like he flies in on a Gundam. Like, wow.
Yeah, sure.
But it's great. I mean, really, I'm having fun. So that is my positive from all this. Is I'm super glad that they implemented this. I think there were people asking for something like this, so I'm glad that they actually implemented it and said, yeah, let's just keep it. There's enough
people. All those
people.
Boomers are like, we don't like building, take it out.
We're like,
take it out.
It's like, yes, it's gone. Finally we can have fun. Yeah, I'm happy. Any other Fortnite stuff?
Nope.
There's a lot of weeb skins in Fortnite now. Did you know that? There's tons now. The $3 package I told you about was a weeb skin. There's lots of weeb skins this season. Not sure what's going on. It's there's a lot of weeb stuff. Not sure what's going on with Fortnite, but.
So you're admitting you're a weeb since you bought the weeb.
No. Hold on a second. Somebody else in our group had bought it, and I was like, okay, well, like we can like be twins and stuff, and it's like it was like kind of a cool skin. So I said, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
And listen, I'm just saying, I'm pointing out a fact. Okay. There are more weeb skins this season than I've ever seen in Fortnite. They're increasing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Rockstar Games doesn't have enough money, so they decided to milk another revenue stream. Introducing GTA Plus for GTA Online, a new player membership delivering exclusive benefits and more now available. Wait a minute, there's something under there. It says, hee hee ha, you fools. Give us your money. Oh man. Dang. They're really being aggressive with that. Let's just go down to the benefits of having GTA Plus, which is, how much is it? Like $5 or something? You get $500,000 of GTA Monopoly bucks delivered to your bank account. You get a complimentary Special Works upgrade for whatever. The auto shop located in La Mesa. There's an assortment of gameplay updates. Waived LS Car Meet membership fees. What? Yacht owners.
I don't know what any of this means because I don't know.
But there's like a lot of stuff in here that's like very specific to when you play online in GTA, which makes sense. You get some cosmetic stuff. You get like a t-shirt and shorts. Looks like you get like a conveyor livery. Okay, maybe like a car or something. Some free paints and emblems. 3x GTA money and RP on Special Works Race Series. And double the rep on Street Race Series. I don't know. It's like a lot of it is like in-game items, in-game money, boosts to money and reputation.
This sounds like pay to win itself.
For $6 a month, you can pay to win in GTA Online. It just seems like it because you get more money, which I imagine is extremely helpful in GTA Online. You get bonuses to the amount of money and rep you would acquire. You get like waived fees and so again, I don't know if that is like how much of a big deal that is, but like you can pay $6 a month to get that, and there's like gonna be a rotation of items month to month. So yeah, like Rockstar is just milking your wallet.
Yeah, they're like, we're not making enough money right now, and we haven't released a new game in like 50 years, so might as well just put a subscription service and milk the shit out of the people playing GTA Online. Yeah, I mean, the GTA Online is extremely popular. I don't think it's like dumb to do something like this, like a subscription service. I'm surprised that they're just doing it now. How long has that thing been out? Like,
yeah, it's been out for a long time.
6, 7, 8 years.
Been out for a while.
I don't even know.
A while, yeah. So they gotta milk for some extra buckaroos. I obviously we neither of us play GTA Online, so we can't really. Oh gosh, Stella's upset. We can't confidently say that this is like something that's pay to win, or it's like people actually want this. I don't know how much impact this actually has to somebody playing GTA Online. I think it's stupid, personally. But then again, like, one thing that I think that they could have implemented here... I mean, GTA Online could have had, like, a battle pass of its own. Like, I don't know, why not implement that instead? I don't know. I think this is dumb, but if somebody in GTA Online thinks this is great, I think good for them. But I personally am just like, really? You $6 for all this in-game stuff? Like, do you really need it? I don't know. Hi. Oh, Stella's here. Hello, Stella. I don't know. What do you think, Spoon?
Again, I don't know what most of that means, so I don't know how good a deal it is, and I don't know how... I'm not tuned in at all with the GTA community, so I don't know if this is good or bad or what the reaction to this is, but to me, it's just, you know, another company finding another way to make a cheap buck off some people.
Yeah.
So
Get that cash.
you know, maybe it's worth it. You know, maybe people think in the GTA community think this is like, hey, we can get all this extra stuff, and it's not that expensive. What was it, $6 a month or something? That's not that expensive.
No, it's not that expensive. It's just, yeah, it's, I don't know. For me, it's like silly. For me, it's silly, but you know what? I do some silly things too. So,
I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, it's like buying a battle pass in like
really.
Genshin or, you know,
oh yeah, of course.
Monthly, whereas like Genshin or some of the others are like maybe like 6 weeks or a couple of months. I don't know, but
yeah,
like you just get a bunch of bonus. This you don't have to grind for. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like here you can pay us some monthly, you know, a little bit monthly to get some bonuses in the game.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like a lot of games do this. It's not that, you know, crazy, and I don't play the game and I'm not tuned in with the community at all, so I have no idea whether this is being received well or poorly. So
no idea. I
don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I guess it is like buying a skin in something like Fortnite. There's like some equivalence to it, I suppose. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, why is this a subscription service? So, but anyway, I mean, like Fortnite has like Fortnite has a subscription service. It's like the Fortnite crew. So I guess like we can't complain that much. It's not that unheard of to see stuff like this, but
no.
Yeah,
Fallout 76 has a freaking subscription. Remember that?
That's right. Oh my gosh. That one was dumb. That one was dumb.
That one was really dumb.
That one was dumb.
At least this game is popular.
At least this game is popular. Correct statement. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. For obviously, like, for someone who's playing GTA Online, maybe this is great. I really don't know how well this is being received personally, and you mentioned you aren't sure, so I don't know. We'll see. But you got to milk that money. You got to get all that money, all that cash. I mean, Red Dead Online, like, nobody cares about that, but GTA Online, we got to milk it.
Yep.
Imagine Rockstar caring about other games besides GTA. Imagine that. Okay. Next thing. Gundam the Witch from Mercury is a new Mobile Suit Gundam series. We haven't had a mainline series in how long, Spoon?
Well, according to this article, 7 years, which was in 2015.
7 years.
The last one was Iron Blooded Orphans, which came out, in the mid, 2010s.
Sure.
So,
and we're gonna have a female main character.
Yep.
For the first time in 89 years. Incredible. Incredible. I'm sorry, not 89 years. Geez, how silly.
43 years.
43. My goodness, like 40 cajillion years. I'm astounded that it has been this long since we've seen a different gender on a main character. I am a little bit astounded by that. Even when you told me that, I was like amazed. I was like, no way. But
yeah, I mean, they said that, and then we talked about it, and I was like, "There's no way there hasn't been a female main character in a Gundam series." And I went back and I like thought about all the ones I could think of, like, nope, dude. You know, and most of it is like angsty teenage boy, to be freaking honest. But
remember our tiers. Remember our tier of protagonists in Gundam. Either they're an asshole, or they cry all the time because they're killing people. Which, okay, fine. Like I get that that's like that's a serious thing, but it's like it's really only two. There's nothing in between. It's like either they're an asshole, or they're like really emotional and whiny.
They're an emotional. Yeah,
they just whine all the time. It's really not. There's really those extremes. That's about it. Maybe it'll break the mold. My suspicion is it won't. I'm guessing it's gonna be the emotional whiny character. But I'm actually hoping it's an asshole character in this case.
It's the angry lady.
I am hoping it's like a really like stern, very direct character. A little bit like Scarlet Nexus, Kasane. Like that. That would be great. Get that kind of character in there. Tsundere, I swear to God, every time somebody says Tsundere, I get a little bit angrier. I hate it. I don't know why, but I hate it when people say that. Because I'm just like, God, please stop. I get it. Like it's a term that's used every time I see it. I'm like, I hate it. Can we talk about the name for a second? The Witch from Mercury. Can I ask you a question? Do you think that there was like a ball tank somewhere in the studio that where they were like brainstorming the show, and each one had like nouns in it? And it's okay. Well, we got to come up with a name. Well, it's got to say Gundam. Okay, sure. What are we gonna call it? And they pulled two balls out. And okay, we got Witch and Mercury. Well, shit. What are we gonna do with that? How about the Witch from Mercury, sir? There you go. That's our name. Do you think they do that? I think they do that. I think they just grab balls from a ball pit, and that's what they do. Like Iron-Blooded Orphans. Think about it. That's probably what they did. They're like, okay, we got iron, blood, and orphans. Like, what can we do with that? I think that's what they do. I'm 99% confident they just have a ball pit, and they have like a badger that jumps into the ball pit and kicks out the balls.
They have a badger. Yeah, they have a badger now.
I'm confident that that's how they do things at the Gundam studio. Yeah. Obviously, we don't have any additional information on why it's called that, but I'm gonna stick with my guns here and say it's a badger in a ball pit.
Well, I'm wondering if the main character is the Witch from Mercury, or if the Witch from Mercury is someone else entirely.
True. I'm just like, every time I look at it, it's like, what? I look at these names, I'm like, what? What does that even mean? Huh? We're Witch from Mercury. But I'm sticking with that. The lore is that ball pit badger kicking out the nouns.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. You got it. You hit it on the head.
I think I did. I can't wait to do a tour there and like discover that and take a picture and send it to you and be like, dude, it's true. Look at that. It's crazy. It says it's scheduled to air this October.
Yep.
That's pretty soon. That's pretty soon.
Fall release. That's what they usually do for Gundam series.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Spoon, or what's your excitement levels at from 1 to 69?
69.
Okay.
I mean, they've had a lot of like spin-offs and like movies and like mini-series, but like it's the first mainline series in 7 years, and I'm like, I've been waiting for a while. It's like, okay, I mean, Iron-Blooded Orphans was pretty darn good in my opinion. I know you watched a little bit of it.
I watched like a couple episodes, and I didn't. I mean, like I thought it was fine. I just dropped it for one reason or the other.
Yeah. So, But yeah, we'll see what they do. We also don't know if this is going to be which timeline this series is going to be in. If it's going to be in UC, Universal Century, if it's going to be in one of the other existing ones, or if it's going to be another alternate timeline that they tend to do.
What are the current timelines? There's UC.
There's Universal Century.
Right.
There's oh boy. After War, that's Gundam X.
Okay.
There's
UC AW. We'll just call it AW for now.
Gundam Wing is After Colony or something like
that.
Oh
my god. AC.
G Gundam has its own. I don't remember what it's called.
G Gundam is its own thing.
Yeah.
G Gundam really is its own thing.
I mean, almost every series has its own timeline, to be honest. As opposed, like there's the UC ones, and then pretty much everything else has its own timeline. Cosmic Era for Seed and Seed Destiny. Anno Domini, or that's like real timeline, is 00.
Okay.
What's Iron Blooded Orphans is a separate timeline as well. I don't remember what they called that one.
So many timelines. T to B, don't forget that timeline.
Yeah, let me see.
I was holding that one for a few minutes. Oh my goodness.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's see. Universal Century, Future Century, that's G Gundam. After Colony is Gundam Wing. After War is Gundam X. Correct Century for Turn A Gundam. Okay. Cosmic Era for Seed. Anno Domini is 00. Oh god, Gundam Age Advanced Generation. That was a new one too. I totally forgot about Gundam Age. That one was crap.
Okay.
Reguild Century for Reconquista in G, which I never watched that one.
Okay.
Post Disaster is Iron Blooded Orphans. So yeah, that's one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
it's a lot.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 different timelines in Gundam.
So many timelines. So many timelines.
Again, most of them are like there is one series that contains that timeline, right? And that's it.
Yeah. But that makes sense. That makes sense though. Like, it would be hard to try and like keep a recurring timeline over that long period.
Yeah, I mean that's my problem. Hard. Like with anytime they release anything new for Universal Century, I don't usually watch it because I haven't seen very much in Universal Century, and I just feel like I'm super out of the loop with that timeline, and it's super hard to keep up with. Sure. There's so much. Sure.
Anyway, but yeah. These Gundam ones actually come out on YouTube. Are the main ones going to come out on YouTube as well? The ones that I've known come out on YouTube as well. Do you think that'll happen, or will they do their own thing?
There's a Gundam channel where they do put Gundam episodes out on sometimes. I guess with the Build series, they did put those out on YouTube.
They did do that on YouTube.
I don't know what they'll do with this one. I have no idea.
I feel like with this one they'll do something probably a little bit different. So
I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't do like Crunchyroll seems to be the main Crunchyroll's the main streaming service right now for anime. So if it wasn't on that would probably be kind of annoying, to be honest. But we'll see.
Yeah. I can't imagine it's not going to be on that. It would be like YouTube or that. So anyway, sorry, I was like trying to talk to Kate, ask her something. Any other Gundam Witch from Mercury? Okay. I have to confess something. We have the Alana Pierce like tweet here, as well as a YouTube video from her, as well as this. I didn't get to read through all of it. Did you get to read through all of it?
I didn't look into this. I didn't have time.
Can I make an executive decision and say maybe we should hold this until next week and we read it?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I don't want to like say something really bad and stupid on something like this, because it's.
Yeah, I mean, Alana Pierce generally does really good work, so yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't get an opportunity to look through all this. The other thing I think we can talk about instead is let me pull up the Coromon Twitter. So, okay, hold on. Okay, so Coromon, one of the games I mentioned last week that's being released today, has had some problems. It released, and they've been fixing the game like crazy. They're like, if you go to the Steam page as well, it tells a story. I'll try and pull up the Steam page for Coromon. Steam Coromon, because you'll be able to see the reviews on this game already. It's got a mixed review score already because people are having problems. Here's some reports. So various launcher doesn't execute anymore. Issues that people are talking about. What else do I have here? Like, just people will say it's unplayable because of the bugs in the game. I saw some reviews saying they couldn't even play it for more than 30 minutes. Just like people recommending not to buy the game because it's buggy right now. Couldn't play the game for more than 30 minutes. So it's got a mixed score because people are having problems. They're pushing updates on it like crazy. And the beta was 100% stable. I don't think I came across a single problem with the beta. But they have a tweet here. Hello, we pushed a couple fixes to solve the startup issues some people have experienced. If you were previously unable to start the game, please restart Steam and try again. That was 5 hours ago. The game was released today. I don't know the exact time, but let's just say 8 hours ago for the argument's sake. So 5 hours ago, here you go. And then if you're still experiencing, we believe you identified an issue with graphics APIs and are developing a fix. Okay, here's 3 hours ago. We've pushed we've pushed our first significant patch in an attempt to rectify a graphics API issue that caused users to experience a blank screen on startup and frequent crashes. Make certain to restart Steam if the update doesn't show. I haven't seen any other things beyond this, but yeah, the beta was stable. The beta didn't have problems with any graphics related issues. Startup wasn't a problem. This is a new studio. TRAG Soft. Like, it's probably their first game, more than likely. They're trying something that I would consider somewhat ambitious. Trying to do like a Pokemon-like game with a certain style to it like this, and having like a lot of features that Pokemon doesn't have, like an in-game randomizer setup, difficulty tiers, having a list of all these Coromon that you can, explore through, and it's ambitious, but there's a lot of problems already. So if you are ever interested in this game and you are looking at this March 31st or the first week of April, my suggestion is there is a discount offer up until April 7th. My suggestion is, if you're concerned about the bugs and resolutions, buy it now and then wait to see if it gets fixed and then refund. Or just wait until April 6th and buy it if you think everything's been resolved. But
I mean, if the bugs persist, hopefully they extend the sale, like, as an apology. But
they should.
See.
They should. That's just my thought. But I think I like. There is a lot that I liked about this game when I played the beta, so I'm not ready to like just say don't get it. It's buggy. It's a buggy mess. Like, I'm gonna give them some benefit here and give them a chance.
It's pretty cheap. It's only $20 even at full price.
Right. That's
$16.
That I was expecting something close to that. Being able to get this at $16, I think, is going to be a steal. Even the like deluxe bundle, which I think just adds a soundtrack, like $20 for that right now is really nice. So I don't know. Like, I'm interested in it. I know Kuru is interested in it. I think another like Blue was also interested, but I'll be definitely like keeping an eye on their Twitter to see if they've got any more issues that need to be resolved. But I'm probably not going to install the game today.
It's really odd to me that like their beta could be completely stable and then they launch the game and it's just like plagued with
problems,
startup crashes, and like, did they change their launcher or something? Like, I don't know what they did. Like,
one thing I also noticed is this game was not able. You couldn't pre-order this game, which was interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
I don't know why I don't know why I'm at, like that isn't necessarily relevant to the bugs, but you couldn't actually pre-order this game. You could only wish list it. That's kind of interesting. I don't know, like I was checking a few days ago and I was like, why can't I pre-order this?
Yeah.
The game looks cool. It has a really nice design, so I'm excited for this. I hope those issues get resolved. I want to play it this weekend, like really badly, so I'm hoping things get fixed up so I can give this a shot. So anyway, that was just something that we talked about last week. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, that was our game news.
There's the E3 thing today.
Oh yeah, that's right. E3's canceled. Let's get E3 canceled. Let's get an article just so we know it's there. E3. This is from IGN. Oh my god. E3, the digital and physical event. We knew the physical event was going to be canceled, but the digital event got canceled.
Yep.
So, last year was E3 received poorly? Do you think like people just didn't watch? Enough people just didn't watch? Didn't get enough sponsors or something? I know people are like, E3 is like dead. Why do people think E3 is dead at this point? I've never really thought about it until, when they said this, but like, this is like gonna sound really weird, but like, what's the problem with E3? Like the digital event, what's the problem with it? Is it just like,
I don't know.
It's like kind of nice because you get like a schedule of when all these developers are gonna go on like the same like day and things like that. I mean, like the in-person E3 to me just ended up being a line waiting simulator, but the digital one like seemed like kind of nice to be able to just like see all this stuff in a scheduled manner. But I can understand why publishers wouldn't want to necessarily do it because they can just do it on their own.
Yeah, it's like for the publishers and game developers, they're like, well, why do we have to conform to this like one date in June? Why can't we just like show stuff when we're ready to show stuff?
The big loser from this though is the small people.
Yeah.
The smaller people who are not a big name publisher, who rely on piggybacking onto various very specific event windows, like just an example, like a PC gaming like show that's a 2-hour show.
Yeah,
like certain studios go into that one because, well, you're not Bethesda or you're not Microsoft or you're not Nintendo, but you need to be able to jump in and show off your game. They may not have the resources to do their own show, so that's exposure for them, and they may need it. I mean, we meme some of these shows and like, oh, like who cares about that game or blah blah blah, but the truth is, like, if you saw like an indie JRPG studio at E3, like the fact that there's no E3 means you wouldn't necessarily get exposed to that indie JRPG game, and like you just don't have your eyes on everything. So that's like an opportunity to get exposed to that. So I feel bad for that because I think the only other option now is like a Summerfest kind of deal, some kind of other game show.
People like Jeff Keighley was tweeting out, and people were like, "Yep, Summer Games Fest to save the day, basically."
Yep. Like you're doing a Summer Games,
which isn't like, that's not like, it was never like a 1 day or like a 1 week thing. That was like a lot of different events over the summer, just kind of like hosted by Jeff. Like,
So that's probably where some of those smaller studios go.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, as we kind of discussed earlier, I think, the big publishers, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, EA, Activision, all of those guys they'll have their own individual events. Maybe not necessarily at the time that E3 would have been, but sometime over the summer.
Yeah, they would have.
When they're good and ready to show off their stuff.
We know they would anyway.
They're just not going to like forego marketing over the summer for their fall releases just because E3 doesn't exist. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, they'll do something else. They'll all do something else in in an effort to promote their stuff over the summer, like they normally would. They'll just do it on their own. Like, I mean, like people like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft never had trouble with this ever, and like Square had some of their own stuff. You know, they're not going to have trouble with that. Those publishers are going to put on their own show, and they're going to have their own, and they can allot their own maximum time they feel like on their own terms. So
yeah, that's the other thing. They don't have, well, they're usually given like a fairly sizable time slot, but like they don't have to conform to E3's schedule or their time slots or anything. They can just like, hey, here's our show, it's on this day at this time, and you know, it can be as long or as short as they want it to be. Basically,
and you don't have to pay E3 for that. You can just do it on your own. And if you want to,
I mean, yeah, if you look at the article, it says that they're like, you know, ESA is planning for some sort of big comeback in 2023, but I'd be really surprised if the in-person event came back, because, like, to be honest, compared to the digital events, that just seems like it's a big old waste of money for the publishers. Like, it's way more expensive to do in-person E3 than digital.
Right. E3 for them is like when they do meetings. Yeah, it's like an opportunity for them to do business meetings as well. But that's like it. But the thing is, like, you can do business meetings virtually. Yeah. It's like you can do that virtually. You can do it anywhere. You just go fly somebody out to your office. Like, what's the problem? It was just like an opportunity for everybody to come together and have like business networking kind of meetings and opportunities as well for the industry folks. I mean, like that's part of it too, I think. But I mean, yeah, you still have to like spend a lot of money to get a booth or something more massive in certain publishers' cases. Nintendo's was always massive, so you don't have to spend that anymore and set up. Yeah, and you have to, you know, set up demo stations. You have to pay people to like run the booths and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's a pretty big undertaking. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of work to be put into that. So now that you don't necessarily have to do that, you just have to do a more digital event. There's some other challenges with that, but like, I mean, they have a handle on it. It's not a problem for them.
Yep.
Whatever Nintendo Summer Direct will be, they'll tell us literally 24 hours before it happens. So.
Yep, that's how they do it. Which I guess that was the good thing about E3 is we knew when Nintendo's event was gonna be, as opposed to being told one day beforehand.
We're told the previous afternoon. It's happening at 6 a.m. in the morning.
There's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow, by the way. Thanks, Nintendo. Appreciate it.
So annoying. But yeah, I mean, like, big publishers are going to do their own thing. The smaller ones, smaller people, smaller devs, all those ones that this was like their opportunity to get some exposure. They're the ones that are going to be hurt, but they'll find another opportunity somewhere. So anyway, any other E3 stuff? Sure.
Nope.
Okay.